What is going on, guys, and welcome to a tutorial on the Argus channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these buffering icons. So at first we have a very basic type of buffering icon. This is just something that spins around and does stuff. And then later on we're also going to be showing you kind of a replica of the YouTube buffering icon. So that's what we're going to be doing, so let's get right into it. So we're going to start off by making a new composition, and we're just going to call this like basic buffer 30 FPS 1080p whatever. Then we are going to create a new solid. We're gonna make this white, and then we're going to grab our rectangle mask tool and go to the center, control and alt control and alt, so kind of create a little rectangular shape. There we go. It's probably a bit too big. Let's scale that down. There. Now for the position, I like to have put it as minus 300, so it's 300 pixels above the center of the screen. Then we're also going to make a null object. Now we're going to parent this white solid to the null. So let's say we're going to have the spin twice a second. So we're gonna go 1 second, we're gonna go 2 full rotations, and so now just this thing spinning around. Nothing too special, obviously. There's no like trail behind it. Now we're going to add an adjustment layer, and then we're going to add echo to it. This is a really cool After Effects effect. So this is kind of echoes it, I guess. It kind of leaves a trail. So since we're at 30 FPS and it spins twice a second, it takes 15 frames to get one full spin. So therefore the amount of echoes is going to be 15. There. Now obviously this kind of needs to decay. So you can change this right here, this decay, and just change to however much you like. Just like that. And there is your buffering icon. Very simple and looks alright. So next up we're gonna make the YouTube buffering icon. So we're gonna start off, make a new composition. We're gonna call this circle, and we're going to create a new solid. We're going to make it white and grab our ellipse tool and just kind of draw a circle. So we're gonna click here, hold it, hold control to center it, and then shift to make it a perfect circle, and just make it as big as you can, really. And so that's a circle comp. Next we're going to create a new comp, and we're going to call it alpha. Now this is basically just going to be the 9 dots aligned in a circle. We're going to grab our circle comp and put it in here. Now we're going to want to scale this down, something like 15%, and we're going to move this up. So moving up is negative, so 540 minus 300. Then we're going to create a new layer, a new null object. I'm going to put this down here. Now we're going to align these in a circle-like fashion. So in order to align these in a perfect circle, I like to use null. So what you do is you duplicate the circle comp, and you're going to parent this to the null, and then you're going to rotate this about 40 degrees. The reason that's 40 degrees is because if we have 9 dots, so if you divide 360 by, you get 40 degrees. So then you want to duplicate this layer, and you want to unparent this one, and then up this by 40 degrees, and just keep on doing that until you get a full circle. So now we have this aligned in a perfect circle, and we can just get rid of the null. Now next we're going to make a new composition, call it main, and then drag this alpha in here. So we're going to want to set this opacity to 20%, so that it's a bit darker, obviously. Now next up we're going to create the new moving bit. So first what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the alpha comp. Gonna Control D, duplicate it, We're gonna name this alpha, say alpha big. Now, what we're basically gonna do is we're gonna select all these circle layers, and we're gonna scale them up so that they just barely don't touch. You can hold control while dragging over the scale to get a more precise kind of movement. So make sure they just barely don't touch. Probably go up by a bit more. That seems about right. Now next up we're going to make another composition. I'm going to call this moving bit. Going to drag the alpha big in here. And then make sure no layer selected. And select the pen tool. Now what we're going to do with this pen tool is going to mask out the top dot. I'm going to kind of perfect this mask. There. Now we're going to create a new layer, a new null object, and rotate this, keyframe the rotation. This combo is 10 seconds long, so we're going to go 10 full rotations, 1 rotation a second. So next up we're going to be parenting the shape layer to the null, and so now we have the shape layer kind of rotating around. Next we're going to want to set the alpha big as an alpha mat for the shape layer, so that way you just get a dot that's moving around. Now you're going to want to go into main, drag the moving bit in here, and now next up, since now we just kind of this, it doesn't really, like, it's got off, it doesn't really work that well, so we're going to apply a thing and it's called posterize time. And what this does is basically change the frame rate of the composition. So we're going to change this to 9, since we have 9 dots and it all moves around in 1 second. And that way it goes like that. Now this is a bit basic buffering icon that you could use. But what we could also do is you could add another second kind of trailing buffering icon, or not buffering icon, a dot. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another duplicate of the alpha composition. So we're gonna go in here and let's call this alpha like medium or something. Because let's see, how big did I make the alpha big? I did 20.3, so I want it to be in between the size of the alpha and the alpha big, obviously. So let's make it 18, 19, something like that. Seems about right. Next, we're going to want to create a new composition, call it moving bit 2. We're going to drag alpha medium in here, and this is basically just the same process, apart from instead of masking out the top one, we're going to mask out the top left one. Right there. Now, just the exact same thing, we're going to create a new null object. I'm going to rotate it. 10 seconds, 10 full spins, move to the beginning, parent this, the shape layer to the null, and then set the alpha medium as an alpha mat for the shape layer. And there we go. Now, as you would have probably guessed, we're going to drag this into the main composition, and that's alpha medium. Moving bit 2, I'm going to drag in the main composition, and again, posterize time to 9. Now, we don't want this moving bit 2 to be as bright as the first moving bit, so we're going to set this opacity to 50%. Now, as you can see, if you look closely, you can see the background through this one, so because it's 50% opacity. Now we're going to fix that, and so we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to set the opacity of this duplicate to 100%, and then we're going to go here to this background alpha layer, and we're going to go alpha inverted math for moving bit 2. So now basically what this is going to do is this is going to always leave out that second dot that's set to 50% opacity. So yeah, that's how you make a YouTube buffering icon. Thank you for watching. If you're using this tutorial for a project or have some views to express, or you have a tutorial suggestion, leave a comment for us. Like if you found it helpful and dislike if you didn't, and I will see you in the next tutorial.